is out, summer is here, time for some family time and fun in the sun.
Whether that means hitting the beach.
Gives you a real unique feel. I'm really not in Oklahoma, but you are.
The lake.
People come down and experience Grand Lake from 500 feet in the air.
Stopping for a sip at the vineyard.
Okay, this first wine is slightly citrus, very clean. It's a Pinot Grigio.
Or all aboard for your first train ride.
We are here! We are here! We are here!
You can do all that right here in our home state.
Or maybe even find a diamond in the rough just a few hours from home.
The largest diamond I've seen come out of the park was 9.04 carat.
This intersection here at I-35 and I-40, right in the heart of Oklahoma City, can take you anywhere in the country, in any direction.
And we're hitting the road for summer adventures in Oklahoma and neighboring states, and we're taking you along with us. Let's go.
Summer Adventures, presented by AAA Route 66 Road Fest, the mother of all road fests.
We begin our summer adventures on the mother of all roads, Route 66.
The neon lights at the Tower Theater here in OKC, just one of the many famous landmarks along the road. But I took my family west on Route 66 to see what else we could find.
Leave it to Amanda to find a beach in Oklahoma.
We can all use a little rest and relaxation, can't we? So whether you're by yourself or you're with your kids and you need to wear them out, we have the perfect spot for you.
When I moved here in 1976, I always thought Clinton needed an indoor swimming pool, but we never got it.
So Walt Schumacher did one better. Right off I-40, he created the Clinton Indoor Water Zoo. A good option, rain or shine.
This is called an open air building, and all those panels slide down. All that can be open.
The indoor water park has slides with different levels of intensity. Don't I know? A kiddie pool with just 5 inches of water for the little ones, a wave pool, water basketball, and a lazy river. It also has a mezzanine with more water fun.
We're a whole lot closer than Dallas and less costly, and no Metroplex traffic.
And helping make this a true staycation, there's a hotel connected to the water park with the beds getting a 7-year-old's stamp of approval. Of course, all of that works up an appetite. And a little off the beaten path east of Clinton is the White Dog Hill restaurant with the motto, come for the view, stay for the food.
Wow.
The steakhouse and next-door bar were built back in 1925 as the clubhouse and caretaker's home of the then Clinton Country Club and Golf Course. Now named after the owner's dog, the place has character, not to mention an amazing charcuterie tray and a panoramic prairie view, making this the perfect spot to watch an Oklahoma sunset.
Come get your kicks on Route 66.
Woo! Our weekend summer adventure also took us to a museum in Clinton, focused on the famous Mother Road that goes right through town.
Right here, Route 66 starts in Chicago, Illinois, ends in Santa Monica, California.
Pat Smith, who's been running this place for nearly 30 years, says it's the largest museum in the world dedicated to the accurate history and culture of Route 66, with each room representing a different decade.
The 1950s. The war was over. Many of the military men wanted to take their families on Route 66. So Route 66 became a main road for vacations, and the diner came into place.
The kids got a kick out of the Route 66 scavenger hunt, where they went room to room looking for different pieces of memorabilia.
Okay, I'm looking for stuff. I found it right there. No.
And as they were searching, we met a couple vacationing all the way from England.
Amazing.
Absolutely amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm really glad we've done it.
A quick peek at the guest book and you'll see visitors came as far away as Hawaii and Spain.
And they love Oklahoma because Oklahoma has more drivable miles of Route 66 than any other state.
Everybody's so friendly. I mean, even you guys.
Wish we could keep them around a while, but cheerio, the beach is calling our name. I know. This looks like a tropical destination. But this gym is just about 15 miles west of Clinton, inside Foss State Park.
It's one of our biggest attractions here because it is unique to western Oklahoma, and it's a big beach.
Park manager Barry Hardaway calls it the oasis of western Oklahoma, and you can see why. There are 5 of these tiki hut-looking structures called palapas, and they can be rented daily. We grabbed lunch from the nearby marina and brought it back to ours. And to think, the palapas are only here because someone made lemonade out of lemons.
The park was really dying because it was hurting really bad because of the drought. And we brought them in, set them up, and people started coming out to the beach.
So have fun. In fact, 100,000 more visitors came to the beach last year compared to the year before. And new this year, Foss Lake has a sand cleaner to make that beach area even more enjoyable and to help make those summer memories.
Happy summer!
And Oklahoma has other beautiful beaches to explore.
We're talking about Eufaula, Grand Lake. Lake Murray has some floating cabins, of course, lots to do. Out at Lake Texoma, Fort Gibson Lake and Arcadia also have some nice shorelines. There's just so much to check out.
You went on Route 66. I decided on another classic form of transportation. We hopped aboard the Heartland Flyer for Fort Worth.
A whistle. And they're on a train tracks.
You might get there a little quicker by car.
Ooh. Now we're in the trees. Now we are. Now we're not. Now we are. Now we're not. Go back in the trees. Yay, we're in the trees.
But rambling by rail is more relaxing.
Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, giddy up.
Even when you're giddy to get to cowboy country.
The train tracks are moving less.
My family and I are now part of the 68,000 each year who opt for the smooth ride of the Heartland Flyer.
With gas being so high, it's nice just to jump on the train and not have to worry about any of that.
It was the first time aboard the train for Kellen, my 7-year-old.
These tracks you see, we're probably gonna go on.
And Wes, my 3-year-old.
A blue house.
And they had to explore everywhere.
What do we think?
Pretty cool.
It's a bathroom.
Whoa! I found my own adventure in the second car. Shooting dice for dollars with a group of ladies from Piedmont celebrating a birthday with a trip to Fort Worth. We soon arrived at downtown, and for lunch, it felt like we'd crossed another border.
I've had people say different things. Oh, it reminds them of Mexico, it reminds them of Puerto Rico, it reminds them of Costa Rica.
Joe T. Garcia's massive tropical patio can accommodate 1,200 people, and over the decades, many of them have been famous faces. The Fort Worth staple opened in 1935.
We started out with Joe T. Garcia's barbecue.
When the family started serving its famous enchiladas a couple years later, a legend was born.
If we're going to go get Mexican, there are some places we like in Oklahoma City, but we'll just say, well, let's go to Joe T's today. And so we'll just get on the train and come up.
He wasn't alone as we spotted our friends from Piedmont spending their train winnings as well.
Yeah, the birthday girl.
Next was a quick stop downtown to our hotel, the Sinclair, before hitting the road for Arlington. But poor Wes was feeling all hat, no cattle without his cowboy boots. At the ballpark, though, it's hard not to smile. Wes, Kellen, go M's. This is only the second year fans have been watching the Texas Rangers inside Globe Life Field with its retractable roof.
2-2 pitch.
Which protects from that hot Texas sun in the summer, a complaint from the previous ballpark.
This is a great place to watch a big league ball game.
PA announcer Chuck Morgan has seen quite a few of them.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we direct your attention to video board.
Tonight, here at the ballpark, it is 3,109 consecutive games.
His glass-enclosed office gives fans a chance to hear the Lou Gehrig of public address.
First baseman number 23, High France.
And see him as well.
99 miles per hour pitch.
Even as fans of the opposing team, it was an amazing place for the boys to catch their very first MLB game.
He hits it high, deep, carry. See you later! Right on the money. Two-run homer, Eugenio Suarez.
Of course, we were back at the hotel when the M's won.
That is a very, very satisfying victory.
All right, step out. Nowhere else but down.
Morning brought a lesson in cowboy culture.
Don't look at the camera. And now nice cowboy face. Nice cowboy face. Oh, yeah.
Fort Worth was a stopover for generally anybody transitioning or traveling from San Antonio north to the Oklahoma territories.
6 million people from around the world visit the Fort Worth stockyards each year to celebrate this Western way of life.
There's one over there.
Shopping, restaurants, and a museum dedicated to Hollywood's most famous cowboy can all be found down here.
Are we having fun yet?
So too the world's largest honky-tonk, Billy Bob's Texas. All the greats have played in this 1,000 square foot space.
Who we got DJing for us back here?
And some of the not-so-greats have tried their hand on the dance floor.
That's the first part. Ready? So from the top, 1, 2, 3.
We started slow with our line dancing lesson, got some confidence, and the boys put those boots to work. But when the music picked up, I lost my way like a wayward cow. It was big fun, though, for everyone on the dance floor. Our day in Fort Worth would end like it did more than 160 years ago. Watching the drovers bring in the herd. 2 times a day, 17 longhorn steers are brought through the streets of the stockyards. And at this district, on the National Register of Historic Places, it's more than just a show.
It connects with your heart, it connects with everybody's history, and you're here to preserve, protect, and promote this piece of Western Americana for decades to come. That's why I do it.
The Heartland Flyer runs every day between Oklahoma City and Fort Worth with 5 stops in between. It leaves OKC bright and early 8:25 and arrives in Fort Worth at 12:23.
And then the return trip is at 5:25. Leaving from Texas takes about 4 hours to get back here. And the average cost is $35 for a one-way ticket. We are just getting started. David heads to Arkansas in search of treasure.
And up next, we visit some Oklahoma destinations made famous by Hollywood. Oklahoma has turned into a hotspot for TV and film production. Some of the magic you see on screen is happening right now inside this building.
News 9's Jonathan Cooper takes us to some of the other spots in the state made famous in the movies.
Halfway across the country, where red dirt is more common than red carpets, relics from Hollywood are popping up across Oklahoma. Shrines almost, museums celebrating some of the iconic movies filmed right here. And they're all a car ride away.
You men want to work? Sure we want to work.
Oklahoma's connection to Hollywood is nothing new, with films shot in the state dating back a century. One of the biggest, though, came in 1983, when Francis Ford Coppola chose Tulsa to shoot the movie adaptation of The Outsiders. This is the house featured in the movie today. Just a few blocks from downtown, it's been restored and preserved as a movie museum, thanks in large part to this man.
We went around and tried to replace everything or, replicate what we saw here. So
Danny Boy O'Connor made a name for himself in the early 1990s as a musical artist.
I came to get down, so get out your seat and jump around, jump around.
Today, though, he's making a name for himself for a different reason, as a superfan and historian of all things The Outsiders. It all started more than a decade ago while on tour.
It wasn't until 2009 with another group called the Coca Nostra that we came through Tulsa. Oh, wait a minute, is this where The Outsiders was filmed and written? And our driver said, yes, sir. And then we went looking for locations and the rest is history.
Over the next several years, Danny Boy kept getting drawn back to Tulsa and this house. For $15,000, Danny Boy bought the house with the hope of preserving it. $200,000 later, his goal was complete. But he wasn't done there. he started collecting movie memorabilia, from Johnny Cade's outfit
Fit in there, a black t-shirt, denim jacket, jeans,
to the director's chair and dozens of books. Danny Boy fell in love with the project and city so much, he moved here and turned this into a museum. From Friday to Sunday, 11 to 4, Danny Boy opens the house to fans. During the week, it's open for school tours. It's something Danny Boy says is only getting bigger with themed events and celebrity sightings.
It's a special place, and the possibilities are endless. It's more than just a book and a movie.
150 miles away, another Oklahoma museum is celebrating another iconic movie.
This is Wakita, Oklahoma. The population's only about 400 people, but every summer, thousands of people come here just for this.
Tighten your seatbelt.
12 years after The Outsiders filmed in Tulsa, Warner Brothers chose Wakita as the set for Twister.
This is my U.S. map, and that's my world map.
Today, Linda Wade runs a museum honoring the movie.
You can't go anywhere in the world and say Wakita without people knowing, oh yeah, movie.
A longtime resident of the town, Wade and many of her neighbors acted as extras when they shot here in 1995.
These are the sets that they built along the 5-block area.
When filming wrapped, Wade and her husband asked Warner Brothers to start a museum.
Warner Brothers was very good about giving us stuff.
The studio agreed and donated debris, scripts, and other memorabilia.
They told us we'd have visitors for a couple of years after the movie came out.
26 years later, though, the museum is still going strong.
Well, I've had visitors from every continent, all countries.
Actually, to see that map, I was like, wow, so many people have been here from all over the place.
Over the years, Wade has collected even more, like pictures, a themed pinball machine, and this prized possession.
This was actually used in the movie, right?
Actually used in the movie. Ours is the one that was in all the destruction scenes.
One of the Dorothy props, which was used to shoot sensors into a tornado, now sits up front. Across town, Aunt Meg's house has long since been destroyed, but a marker still attracts visitors. Its visitors, Wade says, continue to put Wakita on the map.
It's really interesting that we're having, like on our 3rd generation of movie fans now.
And as Oklahoma's footprint in Hollywood gets even bigger...
Do you know what time it is? Well, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, kiddo. Hey, Pony, where you been?
And more blockbusters with Oklahoma ties are scheduled for release soon. More visitors are sure to come from all around. Maybe even for a summer adventure to see the silver screen in person.
Still ahead, we are spilling the secrets on Oklahoma's wine and vineyard industry and where you can go to get a sample.
Our next trip takes us to wine country, right here in Oklahoma.
Our state is home to dozens of wineries, one right over in Bricktown. So our Lacey Lowry and some girlfriends, check some of them out. Get your gal pals. It's time to wine with News 9.
Woohoo! Wine time! Woo! Let's go!
Oklahoma has 47 wineries ranging from full-on vineyards to tasting rooms that import their products. The State Department of Agriculture actually promotes wineries as a tourism draw.
That is good.
You don't have to travel to California. They're right here in Oklahoma.
The agency created a wine trail to help map out your trip and an app that takes wine pairings one step further with a taste quiz.
It's 5 easy questions. You rate things 1 to 5 of your different tastes, your flavors, the price of the bottle that you want to spend on, and it will match you to Oklahoma wines in our database.
I can't wait to drink some wine, Lace. Let's do it.
One of those popular matches is Strebel Creek, Oklahoma City's first licensed winery.
The city said, we don't have a winery license. I said, well, I've got a winery.
It's on MacArthur, north of Hefner, inside a 100-year-old barn.
When Gary and Sherry Strebel bought this piece of paradise 46 years ago, it was the edge of town.
This first wine is slightly citrus, very clean. It's a Pinot Grigio.
Dr. Gary doesn't just hold that title because of his vintner magic.
There's 3 acids in grape juice and wine: tartaric acid, malic acid, and citric acid.
He's a practicing OBGYN. He performed surgery in the morning.
This next wine you probably never have had. It is a white Merlot.
Whoa.
And it was made by default the first time I made it.
Then had us in stitches that afternoon.
Well, I don't like that kind of wine.
Winemaking started as a hobby for this family.
I've been doing this about 25 years. And I've been messing with wine about almost 40 years, mainly drinking.
And their vineyard has turned into a cozy stopover for folks wanting to sip and unwind.
I went with the Chardonnay. So this is the one that he said is different from California Chardonnays.
Next, we head to the outskirts of Edmond, the winery on Waterloo, Cloran Ridge.
Okay, come on, let's go.
Thanks for having us. The title is a combination of the owner's children's names.
Our Pinot has a nice nutty finish. It is really lovely.
You said this is an oak? This that'll be? Yeah, that's good. Kylie was asking about the chocolate one. Is that kind of like a port wine? So tell us about the label.
So the label is a local artist, Zonley Lumen.
Cloran Ridge is a sprawling property.
So we've been operating for about 10 years. The owners first started growing grapes in about 2000.
It has an enormous underground wine cave with a dining room set up for weddings and special events that all opens out onto the vineyard. The big workshop is where the production happens.
It can probably put out about 3,000 bottles an hour.
They grow 5 grapes, mostly reds, that make up an average of 10 wines. The wine slushies are a must, so is swigging them on the veranda. Finally, it's Tuttle time. Coal Creek Winery on Sarah Road is a beautiful event center on several acres with a great patio overlook to enjoy a glass. Coal Creek is open Thursday through Sunday. You can also enjoy live outdoor concerts on certain weekends, all while you sip the sangria. It's got something for everyone, much like Oklahoma's wine industry.
We really are trying to promote wine industry here in Oklahoma, wine culture, and that there is Oklahoma wine here in our state that you can love and try.
Next time you're looking to uncork a new adventure, just hit the Oklahoma Wine Trail.
Get some cups.
The state's agritourism department just launched a similar app and website for Oklahoma breweries.
And many of the 60 breweries in our state do offer tastings and tours. Summertime in Oklahoma is all about that lake life.
Up next, we'll show you all the activities in store for visitors at one of the best-known places on Grand Lake.
Oklahoma certainly has its share of natural beauty.
So David Payne took fellow meteorologist Cassie Hyder down to one of his favorite spots in the state, and then they crossed the state line into Arkansas to dig for diamonds.
Our summer adventure starts, like most for me, in this neck of the woods.
Bigfoot business is good, is it not? Are you a believer?
With the search for Bigfoot.
Which town? Bigfoot coffee mug?
Bigfoot. You gotta love it. My grandparents honestly lived on the other side of this building and down the hill, so I've been coming to this place forever.
And notice who's next to me.
Wow. Look, recipes.
Or at least some really cool Bigfoot stuff.
You know, I have that hat, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Bigfoot research team. That's what I want to be. Bigfoot bait.
Bigfoot. It's everywhere.
Take a chance on buying that too.
And I have that one.
Of course you do.
Folks at the stores told us we had to check in at the best new lunch place in town, called the Eat Out. But when we pulled up, we recognized it was an old favorite under new ownership, but now with an amazing patio and backyard bar. Our next stop, the Maze. Another relatively new destination in Ho Chi Town, but one that's already popular, especially with groups.
We get bachelor parties, bachelorette parties. We just get big family groups.
I had no doubt I could beat Cassie in this test of skill and speed.
You've got 1 through 5. Those are your towers. You're going to go up, stamp your card, and then you're going to move on to the next tower. Why am I nervous?
Because you should be, because you're going down. That's why.
Okay. Are you running?
Look at this. Hey, don't be following.
Hold it under.
Why is it so hard?
Shut up, Cassie. I've been here before.
Wait.
This is competition. I'm not telling you anything.
Just gotta go back.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
If I can even get over there.
One more for the win. Cassie, I'll be inside. Woo. Nice and cool in here.
New record.
She had to open some special doors for me.
You cheated?
I had to.
After all that, it was time to relax and check in to our luxury cabin. I always stay at Mountain Vista, and the owner typically has a surprise or two for us, and this visit was no different. And this time, dinner was coming to us. Tab Singleton was executive sous chef at Emeril Lagasse's New Orleans and the grand prize winner of Chopped on the Food Network and Destination American Deep Fry Masters.
You won that too?
Won that too.
He now is back home in nearby Idabel, where he opened Fat Tab's Barbecue. But tonight, he and the other chefs from Fat Tab's are in our kitchen cooking us a gourmet meal with their own flair.
Everything's been touched by fire, one way or another.
All three of the chefs once worked in New Orleans. With the cabin industry booming in Broken Bow, they are busy, keeping their chef skills sharp, cooking in-house cooked-up dinners like this, in addition to making barbecue for the restaurant. You can book the chefs by calling Fat Tabs or through their local social media. We capped off the cool night with a campfire, and the next morning we were set to find our fortunes in Arkansas.
Put them together like that, and then dump your dirt into the top screen.
At the Crater of Diamonds State Park.
Money, money.
The state park sits on top of an ancient volcano. 120 miles underground, a combination of heat and pressure created millions of diamonds.
Making money. Go for the big gravel.
Then 100 million years ago, the volcano exploded, blowing up the mountain and bringing all those diamonds to the surface.
What I like to call dry sifting.
Scattering them throughout 37.5 acres. And for the past 50 years, park goers have been finding an average of 2 a day out here, including some big ones.
The largest diamond I've seen come out of the park was 9.04 carats. It was the Kennard Friendship Diamond, the second largest in the park's history.
That one, found in 2020.
He came out here for about 30 minutes and picked it up off the surface.
The Esperanza Diamond was found out here in 2015. It weighed just over 8.5 carats.
The lady that found it had it cut down into a 4.6 carat gem, and then it was appraised at $1 million.
Just back in April, a regular visitor found this 2.38 carat diamond. So we felt our chances were good.
All right, now that looks interesting.
Look at the color of that.
The big ones are often found on top of the ground, but you have better chances of finding a gem by wet sifting. And that's just simply washing all the dirt away and hoping a diamond shows up on top. Some diamond hunters are regulars, coming out here once a year for a week, or even almost every day.
We've had people even bring divining rods out with divining rods with diamonds to try to find more diamonds with them. So you never know what you're going to see out here.
About 35,000 visitors have found diamonds at the park in the past half century.
There is your retirement.
All right.
You are finished working.
No diamonds? No diamonds.
Have you had any diamonds today?
No, not today.
What about yesterday?
There was 2 yesterday.
2 yesterday.
And unfortunately, we weren't one of them.
There's also a place here that you can dig for buried treasures right here in our state, just about 2 hours north of Oklahoma City at the Salt Plain State Park.
It is the only place in the world where hourglass selenite crystals can be found just below the surface. Experts say the salt is left over from an ocean that once covered Oklahoma in prehistoric times. Coming up, scuba diving in Oklahoma.
We're going to show you a lake right here in our state where you can check it all out underwater. Despite being landlocked, Oklahoma has nearly 12,000 miles of shoreline, like this right here along the Oklahoma River.
Across the river right here, you have Chesapeake Boathouse, also a big attraction down here, OKC River Sports. Our Leanne Taylor is dropping anchor at another action-packed shoreline, Grand Lake.
Mitch Whitehead operates Sail Grand Waterfront at Grand, where you can rent boats and wave runners or charter a yacht. And it's the only place in the state where you can parasail.
People come down and experience Grand Lake from 500 feet in the air and, rent the boats, see what's happening at the resort. It's just a fantastic place to be.
There's also a new attraction at the Shangri-La Resort. It's called The Anchor.
It's the only facility of its kind between Kansas City and Dallas, with pickleball and basketball and tennis and all of the arcade games and virtual reality games.
Another big development in the works, an 18-hole par 3 golf course coming to Shangri-La in the spring of 2023.
For a summer adventure without leaving town, you have that old 90-foot tall grain silo, which has been transformed into a rock climbing gym in OKC.
Most of the climbing is done indoors, but there are some spots you can pull up outside. And now News 9's Tess Monty takes us to another Oklahoma town that's found a new use for an old silo.
With more than 130 miles of shoreline, Lake Tenkiller is home to some pretty spectacular views. And what many people may not realize, there's a lot to see underwater too.
Tenkiller's the premier scuba lake in Oklahoma.
John Cotherman owns Jean's Aqua Pro.
This used to be on Lake Tenkiller. It's an old boat dock,
where folks have been learning to scuba dive for 51 years.
So this is attached to your back?
Exactly.
Heavy.
And we take you from knowing nothing about scuba diving to being a certified scuba diver.
Oh, it's so cool. It's hard to describe. Whole different world. Peaceful.
Sherry and Wes Wilson are master divers who got their start with Jeans at Lake Tenkiller 4 years ago.
We went down what they call the cannon line, and a big old turtle swam right under me. And I'm like, this is why we're doing it. I looked over to him. I think I was grinning bad enough. I got water in my mask.
We had two big old flatheads swim right under us. It's kind of awesome just to watch them. We just held still and they just swam right by and kept going. It's pretty cool.
The Wilsons live in Choctaw but spend almost every weekend in the summer at Tenkiller, exploring the world underwater. There's even a scuba park at the bottom of the lake.
This is a map of the scuba park.
With boats, a school bus, airplane, and a helicopter.
And we get lots of divers that travel into Lake Tenkiller because, there's nowhere else you can dive a helicopter that I know of in America at a lake.
There's also a famous fish, a smallmouth bass named Mitch.
He's like a pet.
He follows divers, hoping they'll turn over rocks and uncover a snack.
There's all kinds of cool stuff to see. You need to do it. Just come try it. Once you try it, you'll be hooked.
Once you get back above water, more adventure awaits on land near Lake Tenkiller. This is The System, a professionally built mountain bike trail system next to Vianne's City Lake.
It's quite exhilarating.
Ryan Sullivan is an ER doctor who clears his mind through mountain biking.
Something about being on a bike and just flying through the woods, it just feels awesome. I mean, it is good for your mental health, it's good for your physical health.
The system has something for everyone. Some gnarly drops for the experienced riders.
I think it's about 59 degrees, and I don't know how many feet down it is, probably 20.
And some easier trails for beginners or folks who just want to hike, walk, or run.
We have tons of trail out here with tons of really cool turns and jumps, beautiful scenery, beautiful rock formations.
The area also has some really cool places to stay, like the silo.
3 bedrooms upstairs. It's just so different than anything around here.
It's an Airbnb that taps into the owner's country roots.
My husband is a 3rd-generation farmer. We farm in Weber's Falls, so we kind of wanted something that would tie into the farm life.
And for the kids, it's a place where time out doesn't exist.
And we tell them to go stand in the corner, except they don't know. I mean, they just go in circles in here,
Lane and Katie Polsander live about 30 minutes from the silo and spent a weekend there with their son and daughter.
It was a perfect getaway, not too far from home. Kids had a blast. I was amazed. It's actually really big in the inside. It's just really cozy and unique.
So whether you're slowing down at the silo,
today is a good day for a good day,
taking sharp turns on the system, or suiting up to scuba dive,
Get out and explore. There's so much to do right here in Oklahoma.
there's certainly something special about this part of our great state.
Up next, we're taking you to a pair of destinations in neighboring states that will take you back in time.
These streets and sidewalks aren't the only way to explore OKC during the summertime.
Deep under the surface, there's actually an underground tunnel system. It covers 20 square blocks of downtown Oklahoma City and is decorated with photos and artwork. News 9's Lori Fulbright is taking us to another underground adventure in Springfield, Missouri. At Fantastic Caverns, you can take a Jeep-drawn tram tour all the way through a cave formed by an ancient underground river.
Even in the summer heat, the temperature inside the cave is about 60 degrees every day of the year.
Now let's head south to the bed and breakfast capital of Texas. Our Craig Day is touring Jefferson, a pre-Civil War town with nearly 100 historical landmarks and 45 B&Bs.
Tommy Engel gives historic tours on his 10-seat golf cart, and he knows the stories behind every old home and building, including the Excelsior House Hotel, the oldest hotel in continuous operation in Texas, where Presidents Grant, Hayes, and LBJ once stayed.
Now, I do want to tell everybody my little disclaimer, I'm 90% history, 10% BS, so it's going to be up to you guys to kind of call that out.
Visitors say the town named after Thomas Jefferson is like stepping back in time. You can find it about 5 hours southeast of OKC. Still to come, flower bouquets you can cut for yourself and a restaurant in the running for best chicken fried steak.
It's all just a few minutes south of the metro, and coming up next, we're going to take you there. The beauty of summertime is it gives us a break from our busy schedules so we can stop and smell the flowers, like right here at the Miriam Botanical Gardens.
News 9 Sassy Mama and Bobby Miller take us to a spot south of the metro where the blooms are at your fingertips.
I love a good road trip, a good summer adventure. But you know what makes it even better is if you can bring a friend.
Wah! Sassy! Road trip, road trip.
You're our pilot. Where are
Yes.
you taking us?
We are gonna go pick flowers.
Whimsical, wild, and free, just like we like it. This picturesque, peaceful space of silos and barns isn't far from the city. A little place we found in Purcell, America, called Pedal Pusher Farms. We made it our first stop.
One of our biggest missions was to show Oklahomans that you can get a sustainable source of cut flowers in your backyard.
This farm is Jarrett and Matt Irby's side hustle. She's a forester by trade, he's an attorney. A few years ago, they stopped mowing this field of theirs and decided to let it go.
We usually come out here in the evenings and spend our time on the farm with our dogs and our kids and in the flowers. So it's just really enjoyable to just be out here in nature.
Their dog Bruno, absolutely named from Disney's Encanto, but we can and will talk about this Bruno. Toured the farm with us.
Oh, he's a nice puppy dog.
They boast 26 varieties of zinnias that are at their prime and long-lasting. Lavender to boot, and plenty of pansies. The Irbies grow their garden with a half acre, but say you can simply start with a raised bed.
Put in some zinnias, a few sunflowers, some cosmos, and have a beautiful summer cut flower garden.
In my basket. I never met a flower I didn't like, Bobby.
Go easy on the poppies, Karen. Well, everybody, I hope you've enjoyed Karen doing our Sassy Mama cooking segment. She has a new job.
I love flowers. Oh, it's so pretty.
How do you feel about that? I never would have guessed it, but the hottest months are actually the best flower picking times, July, August, and September.
But this was the good news, is that you pick in the morning or the evening so it's not as hot.
You want your flowers to last. They have all kinds of events you can come out for, but if you're a bride,
this was the best part. You can bring your floral stylist out here and you can actually pick your bouquet or your boutonnieres right here.
They work with local florists, but from the cut,
we're ready to wrap these babies up. Let's take them home.
to design.
Well, let's see you guys try.
They walk us amateurs through every step.
Keep everything in this area up here.
After picking and snipping, it's a trip to the barn for a lesson in flower arranging.
That's how you do it.
After our floral design workshop, we were hungry. Next stop, a tried and true stop off I-35 in Goldsfield, Libby's Cafe.
Love it. We're gonna leave them to work and we're gonna go eat. So Libby's good recipes were quite a blessing.
Yeah, it worked out pretty well.
Philip Adkins is the son of Scott and Libby Adkins, who opened Libby's Cafe in 1992. Now famous for all-you-can-eat catfish, black Angus steaks, and chicken fried steaks smothered in homemade gravy, the beginning of the restaurant was out of dire circumstances.
We farm and run cattle as well, and then we had back-to-back failed cotton crops, and they wanted to try and diversify and get other income coming in, and so my parents took their savings and bought this, and then it's just grown from that since '92.
Today, the family-owned and operated restaurant and bar is 30 years strong. Locals and interstate traffic has kept them busily growing and remodeling the old 1910 building.
Look at the rolls. I've got to have something or I'm going to die here.
And many dishes still have to be washed from this bustling kitchen.
So it starts out like this. So I'm going to put it in there. And then do I put it in the wet?
When you put it in the milk, it's going to be more easy.
Oh my goodness. This looks great. Very fun. And here we go. We're going in. Ready for surgery. I need a big plate. Okay. I nailed it. I love this. I think we're having corn. I could just come work at Libby's. I could. Dinner roll. Order up.
And you know Sassy had to get in that action. After all that, we certainly took those kitchen specials for a spin.
Here we go. You did good, Mama. It's not my first chicken fry.
After trying it won't be our last. With Sassy Mama. I'm Bobby Miller.
From this spot, countless summer adventures are just a few minutes, miles, or hours away. We are so glad you came along with us.
If you want to watch this special again, just go to our streaming apps on Roku, Amazon TV, and Apple. And we cannot wait to see where this summer takes you.
Summer Adventures has been presented by AAA Route 66 Road Fest, the mother of all road fests.